Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we are at Universal Studios and it is currently starting to rain. So I don't know how long this live stream is going to go on for. We shall just play it by ear. I got a camera, I got a gimbal. These are all made of circuitry. Yes, circuitry. You know that is the stuff that gets destroyed in water. So we are going to hope for the best and expect the worst here and see what happens. If it does start raining too hard, I think I will just postpone this live stream for a little bit and then come back at it maybe in an hour or so. But here we are, and Universal Studios is an amazing place to be. I think at this point, this park is probably the least favored of all of the parks because of the fact that there are just not as many rides here as the other parks now with Islands of Adventure and Epic Universe. But you know what? When you want to come and experience something that has the magic of the films of yesteryear, this is the place to go. The horror makeup show. Let's step into here. Let's step out of the rain for a second and take a look here at the horror makeup show. I think I already got some smudging on the the lens from some water, but let's walk in here.
All the way down, we're gonna make a right.
Okay, so in here, this is where, actually, you know what, give me 1 second to get this smudge off of the camera. That's going to be there all day if I don't do something about it. That is not a strobe light. That is just me cleaning the lens. Okay, so here we are inside the horror makeup show lobby, and there is a lot to see in here. If you're a fan of horror movies like I am, you are in for a treat if you come here. This is the sort of Jaws area here. So got a little thing about Steven Spielberg here, who of course directed the movie Jaws. And we got some props. Here we got the head of that guy that comes out of the boat. We got some Jaws teeth up here. We have some photos from the set. And speaking of Spielberg, look at this. We got the screenplay for Jurassic Park by David Koepp, based on the novel by Michael Crichton. And right over here, speaking of which, we have a Velociraptor. Look at that. How scary is that? Imagine being taken down by one of these things, eh? They hunt in packs. Now, if you're a fan of horror films, you know who this guy is right here. Yes, this is a little possessed doll right here. This is Chucky, voiced by Brad Dourif. And we also have a couple other things here. We got this prop here from The Mummy, which they also have a ride for here, The Revenge of the Mummy. We got Michael Myers' mask, which is based on William Shatner's face, which is hilarious to think. Over here, we have a perfect replica of my friend Terry's face here. Yes, my friend Terry, you all know very well. No, I'm just kidding. This is actually the face of, what's his name? David Naughton from American Werewolf in Paris. We also got the Grinch over there, played by, of course, Jim Carrey, Canadian legend. These are not necessarily, movie icons. These are characters from Halloween Horror Nights. Halloween Horror Nights happens generally every year around September, and here is a little ode to The Mummy, the sort of more recent one with Tom Cruise. So you got some screen use props here. We got jackets here from Tom Cruise, as well as what's the name of the actress that played the Mummy in this one? I forget her name. Maybe it says here. Shockingly, doesn't seem to say. I feel like it's like Sophia something. But yes, she was in the movie Climax by Gaspar Noé, which is also a really good movie. Very, very disturbing. So here is a replica of the upside down morphed head monster from the movie The Thing by John Carpenter, another classic sci-fi horror that I love with a passion. There's the devil from Legend that was famously played by Tim Curry. And John Carpenter, just a master of his craft. So much cool stuff. They Live. And then over on this side, we have some cool stuff that has to do with some of the classic horror films here. Odes to Hitchcock, odes to Boris Karloff. Look at that. And over here, Lon Chaney as the Phantom of the Opera. Ugh, that's a really cool movie. One of the oldest horror films out there. It's actually a great film. I watched it not too long ago, and was surprised at how well it holds up, despite being from the 20s. Lots of movie posters here. Dracula, Phantom of the Opera, Psycho, Frankenstein. Okay, let's take a step outside and see if this rain is persisting. Florida weather's weird. Okay, I think it's still raining. Yes, it is still raining. So we can hop over maybe to some other area to see if we can avoid the rain. But no, it is coming down actually harder than before. So we're just going to stand here for a second and see what our next move is. So over here we got Mel's Drive-In. So this is a drive-in, old school style fast food joint here. Normally they actually have some cars outside of here that are replicas of the cars from the film American Graffiti, but right now they're gone. I'm not too sure why. Sometimes if there's events going on, they remove the cars because they don't want to get the cars damaged. And I believe Halloween Horror Nights is starting this week, so perhaps that's the reason why they are not putting those cars out right now. But normally they do have some cool cars around there. And right behind that, we're going to see this big, kind of ugly building here. This is brutalist architecture for sure. This is the Transformers building here. So Transformers is a motion simulator ride where you sit in a ride vehicle and you're carried around, and it's a combination of practical effects as well as screen effects. You wear 3D glasses. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's one of my least favorite rides here at the park. Not really a big fan of the Transformers ride because basically all the motion is stop, start, stop, start. So you, crash into walls, you crash into other Transformer vehicles, you gain speed, and then you stop real quick. And, if you have any pain in your back, prepare to feel more pain in your back because it is just that constant stop, start motion. I don't think it's very entertaining, and I think it takes up a lot of real estate in this park too that could be used for something else. So, I don't know. I'm hoping eventually that they're going to change it. Looks like the rain is subsiding a little bit. I'm going to step out here. I think we're safe to not damage any of the circuitry. As I mentioned before, the camera and the gimbal are made of electrical circuitry, which of course is not a friend of water. Okay. Well, let's get a closer look at the Mel's Drive-In. I have always loved this place. It's such a cool old school feel to it. And you can go inside, you can get shakes, you can get chicken fingers, soft drinks, hamburgers, onion rings, all that good stuff. And right here it is. And it just looks cool. Let's walk inside actually. It's got a little bit of drizzle going on. Like, it's just so authentic, Everything here is so authentic. And the doors are heavy here, but let me open it up. See how authentic this is? I mean, it's crowded with people right now because obviously people are trying to get out of the rain, but it is just a wonderful looking place. And if only smells could transfer through the live stream, it smells just like delicious French fries right now. And the milkshakes here are great. Maybe I'll get a little shot of the menu here so you can see what exactly you can get. Maybe you can or can't see what's on that menu there, but you can get milkshakes and burgers and all these classic items from, a time that is in the past. Oh, look, here comes the Blues Brothers in their car. There we go. Hey, guys. Hey. And the Blues Brothers actually have an awesome show that happens here. They put that on outside of Finnegan's, and it is awesome. These guys are really great at impersonating the original Blues Brothers. And we also have a show that happens over there every now and again, every so often, I should say, and that is a Marilyn Monroe show, and they have some dancers. You can see all this stuff set up right now. This is all for the Halloween Horror Nights that is, I believe, starting this week. So that happens after the park closes, and there's lots of spooky stuff. We're about to go down this alley here, and I'm so excited to show you what they got going on in this alley for the Halloween Horror Nights, because most of you know, I mean, I don't know, maybe most of you don't know, it depends on who's watching right now, but I am a big fan of cats. Yes, the animal cats. I like cats. I own a cat. I have a cat named Lou, and she's a nightmare, but I love her with all my heart. And right over here, we have 9 Crooked Lane. This is what they've transformed this area into. And guess what? It is all cat themed. It is all cat themed. I'm gonna show you all the various cats here. So we got all this cool stuff here. We got a skateboard. We got some houses. We got, look at that, that's a cat. Look at this. What is that? It's a cat. And a birdhouse with no bird in it, probably because the cat ate it. We got pumpkins in the trees, and we have some infographics here. Deep in a forest on Halloween night, the trick-or-treaters follow moonlight. The naughty children that dare to explore the old crooked lane along the forest floor. Cat eyes and pumpkins line the dim trail to the cat lady's house, so withered and frail. Ooh. And more pumpkins in the trees here. Very cool. A bike. The kids that are trick-or-treating that have gone missing, just like the movie Weapons that I saw the other day. Great movie. I won't read all these things. It's going to take up too much time. But look at all this stuff. All the trick-or-treaters that have gone missing. The cats have taken them away. Love a good cat. And speaking of cats, there is a really cool show right over there that you can catch. I don't know if it's going to happen now because of the rain, but it is the Animal Actors on Location show where they have actual real doing all sorts of stuff. They got dogs, they got cats, they have birds, they have pigs. There's a porcupine, I believe, and it is very cool. And they're all real, and they do a little show. They even got Frank, the pug from Men in Black. So over here, we're walking into DreamWorks Land. DreamWorks Land, you know, it's more for the kids. DreamWorks obviously make a lot of kids shows, but we got the SpongeBob store over here where you can actually meet SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward. We have the E.T. Adventure over here. This is a classic ride. This is the oldest ride in the park here. E.T. has been around ever since this park was created in the late 80s, 89, I believe. And it is just so awesome. Whenever you go to this ride, you feel the nostalgia, the magic of the film. I explained this the other day to somebody. It is like watching old Spielberg movies versus watching new Spielberg movies. There is some degree of heart that is in this old stuff that is not in the new stuff. Despite all the new technology, you know, this is an old ride. You can see some of the, the age showing in this ride, but it doesn't matter because it's just so magical. And a really cool thing about the E.T. ride is that you give them your name at the start. You get your interstellar passport, and they ask you for your name. And you tell them your name, and E.T. will say it at the end. At the end of the ride, E.T. will wave goodbye to you, and he'll go, goodbye, whatever your name is. So imagine how much fun you can have with that if you're coming up with fake names and stuff. So the other day, we went on it, and one of my party came up with the name Liz, and I said Anya, and it said goodbye Liz Anya lasagna. very funny. So think about all of the possibilities for funny names that you can come up with. Over here in DreamWorks Land, we have some rides, but just kind of more fun, immersive things for the kids rather than rides. There's only one ride here, which is the Troller Coaster, which I believe is not running right now because of the rain. Everything's very interactive here. I think you can actually push these buttons on this boombox. Let's see. Well, it's not working now, but I think you actually can. Maybe it's not working at the moment. But the Troller Coaster, this is one is for kids, of course. It's a very entry-level roller coaster. And it's normally like a walk-on. There's not normally too many people on there. If you want a very light thrill, then head to the Troller Coaster. Right now it's not working because of the weather delay. Here we have Po's Kung Fu Training Camp. Po is from Kung Fu Panda. And this is just such an immersive area here. So cool. No rides, but just a kind of fun playground for the kids. Lots of water stuff over there, which is not applicable when it's raining because you're already getting wet. But if you are in the blistering heat that is normally the case here, you'll want all this water to fall on top of you because, my God, it gets hot here. But look at this. It's just really cool design. Let me show you one of my favorite things here. There's a show over there, the DreamWorks Imagination Show, which I actually saw yesterday for the first time in my life. And I loved it. It was great. Lots of songs. They had, what they had? They started off with Shrek stuff, and then they moved into Kung Fu Panda, and then they had Madagascar. They had Trolls, of course. Trolls is actually a really good movie. I only watched that not too long ago, and I was very impressed, actually. It was a fun movie. This guy over here was probably my favorite character, the high five guy. Let me tell you, he's more high than five, and that's why I like him. But he was not in the show, maybe for reasons to not set an example for the kids, you know. It's starting to rain a little bit. Over here we have a little cat area that's based on the Puss in Boots franchise, where you can go in and play with these cats. As I mentioned, I love cats. So there's all sorts of interactive elements here. You can press this stuff. Whoa! Up here, look at all these cats. I'll press this button, get the fan going for the cat. He's batting at the ribbons that are attached to the fan. But every single one of these little things here is interactive, and it's super fun to watch these cats interact with, you know, whatever you're doing. But this is a really fun one here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. You kind of need two people to pull this one off successfully, but these are these frogs here. And when you step on the lily pads down there, they each make a little noise. See that? So the cool thing about these frogs is that if you step on a certain pattern here, you can actually get them to say Budweiser. Here, let me see if I can do it. Gotta find the right ones. It's difficult as one person, but okay, that's just a ribbit. Whoa, what was that? But that's a ribbit. Wise. That's a ribbit. That's nothing. Okay, so this is basically impossible with one person. I'm gonna have to skip across it and see if that works. The Budweiser. Nope, I got the wrong one. Bud. Wise. There we go, we did it. Budweiser. And if you recall, there was a commercial way back in the day that had frogs saying Budweiser. And believe it or not, it's a commercial for Budweiser. Pretty obvious. So, as I mentioned in the yesterday's stream for Islands of Adventure, the weather in Orlando is all over the place. You don't know what's going to happen. It was sunny 5 minutes before I started this live stream, and now it's raining all of a sudden. So you never know what's going to happen next, but it's okay. It's not too bad right now. And I will say that if it is raining, Universal Studios is actually one of the better parks to go to if you're going to choose between Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, because Universal Studios has a lot of indoor rides and a lot of shows and stuff like that, whereas Islands of Adventure, it does have a few indoor rides, or dark rides, as they're commonly known in the ride community, but it's there's definitely more of that over here. So if the weather is looking bad, hop on over to Universal Studios and you know, spend your day checking out the stuff over here. There's lots of fun stuff over here. Is some really cool stuff. Like I said, if you are a fan of the old movies, the old magic of films that you know, were produced by Steven Spielberg, we got Robert Zemeckis' Back to the Future, one of my all-time favorite movies. I honestly think it's one of the best movies of all time. We actually have the DeLorean right here. Look at this. This is the DeLorean itself, and if you look inside, it's hard to see now with the glare, but you got all sorts of stuff. You got all the numbers on the time-traveling dials, and over here we actually have this is actually a screen-used prop, I believe. Yeah, the Jules Verne train from Back to the Future 3, right here. How cool is that? Back to the Future 3 is easily the worst entry in the franchise, but still, very cool. All right, so we're gonna enter one of my favorite parts of this this here Universal Studios, but it is, I don't know, the future of it is uncertain because of contract licensing, and it is Springfield. Springfield, that is right, from The Simpsons. Let me go around here. Have I ever been to Finnegan's for lunch before? Yes, I have, and Finnegan's is fantastic. Yeah, it's too bad the day you came to Universal. Rip Ride Rocket is awesome. I've been on Rip Ride Rocket many times. I did have I've been actually to Universal 2 times earlier this year, so I did have a good send-off for Rip Ride Rocket. I listened to All the Small Things by Blink-182 is my last ride, so I'm very happy with the send-off. I got here a day after it closed down. I was hoping for that last Rip ride on there, but alas, was not meant to be. But here is Springfield. So Springfield, Simpsons is owned by Disney, but it doesn't really matter that it's Universal, because these parks do set up contracts that are based on the rides and the theme park, I guess, rights alone, rather than the actual IPs. So they have it for now, but word on the street is that that contract is going to run out in the near future, and who knows what's going to happen to this area. They're saying it might be a Pokemon area, which is kind of cool. Pokemon, great. So here we got the Duff Beer times, well, probably in a month or so. They're going to have Dufftoberfest, which you can get a specialty beer there. And we got all these restaurants here. We got Moe's Tavern, you know Moe's Tavern. We got Cletus's Chicken Shack. We got the Quickie Mart over here. Look at this. This is so authentic. Let's go into Moe's Tavern. Let's see inside Moe's Tavern. How authentic is it? So this is gonna be kind of busy because it was just raining, so a lot of people hop in here for shelter from the rain. But let's step inside. So we got Barney right here, looking at his empty pint glass. He's probably waiting for some more beer. And right over here, we got the bar right here. You can order a pint of Duff beer. This is Moe's Tavern. How cool is this? You got the Love Tester machine. Shall I test it? Let's see here. Let's see what I get. I'm gonna squeeze it here. What am I gonna get? Okay, it's lighting up. Oh boy, the suspense. Hubba hubba. Okay, I'll take it. It's not at the bottom. Not at the top, but not at the bottom. So this is so cool. Obviously, it is a little different to incorporate, you know, all the people that are going to sit here. They got booths, they got tables, but it is super cool. and is so reminiscent. Check this out, actually. I love this part. There's a little TV over here that's actually playing The Simpsons. See that? How cool is that? So that's sick. So you can get Duff beer here. You can also get a Flaming Moe's, which is a specialty drink. It's actually non-alcoholic, but it comes in a cup that uses this kind of fake like smoke effect that comes out. I'm not sure exactly what the chemical compounds are, but it is cool. And here is the Quickie Mart. Let's take a step into the Quickie Mart. I can feel the rain coming down a little bit. I hope it doesn't come down any harder. I checked. So these are all like little name tags you can get on keychains. Let's see. I'm seeing it here. Oh yes, here it is. Okay, look at this. Bart, Beatrix, Bort. Bort. If you've seen the episode, you know. So many good Simpsons episodes, the classic ones, of course. Okay, so onwards into the rest of Simpsons Land, or Springfield as it is called. There's lots of cool stuff here. We got Millhouse on the bench. If you listen to this phone here, you can actually hear little messages. Let's see if we can hear it. I guess that's not going to pick up. But every now and again, too, you'll also get some Simpsons meet and greets over here. You'll get some of the characters will pop out. So here's another one of the rides here. This is the Kang and Kodos Twirl and Hurl. So this is kind of a flat ride here. Very similar to the One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish over in Seuss Landing at Islands of Adventure. And then you got a lot of like carnival style games here where you can win giant Krusty dolls and such. You can get some gigantic, I love this sign, hot dogs over dozens served. And this is the main ride here. This is the Krusty Land, the Simpsons ride here. So you get a little idea of what to expect, some thrills. And there is a gigantic Krusty the Clown face looking right at you with his twirling eyes. Just really cool design. This used to be the Back to the Future ride. I was here when I was a kid. I was here in 1993, believe it or not. When I was a kid, I went on the Back to the Future ride, which is basically the same ride as this. They took over this space with the Springfield stuff, and they really just redressed it. It is a motion simulator ride, and it does pay. Here, hopefully everyone can see. Sorry about that. The Wi-Fi a little weak. Maybe the weather is messing it up. So this is the Men in Black ride here. So you can see this here, this World Expo. You're looking at a 15-minute wait time for that ride. And it's got a really cool queue. All these rides have really cool queues, extremely immersive. You can go through the whole Men in Black headquarters. You can see all the aliens from the movies, those little like weird prawny, weird aliens. I don't even know how to explain them. They're like the slender, like weird looking aliens. They're in a little room there. And if you ever go into that ride, try pulling every door handle on the way to the ride in the queue, because there are little secrets. Every time you pull a door handle, there's like the oxygen-free door. If you pull that, it'll suck it back in, and you'll get a blast of air. There's another one that'll like light up with electricity. There's so many interactive things that they don't even advertise. You just gotta try this stuff out. Over here, we have a bunch of Halloween Horror Nights set up for the Halloween Horror Nights that's going to happen soon. That is off limits for us during the day. And over here we're going to go into another one of my favorite parts of Universal Studios. This is jolly old England, the UK. We're going to go into it. Harry Potter. There's some newly renovated washrooms over here that are actually still in the process of being renovated, so they are not ready yet. But look at that. Look at how beautiful that looks. Man, I never thought I would say that about a washroom, but that's a mighty fun looking washroom. So here, as we go in to London, England, we're going to see these buildings here. You might recognize these. You might from the movies. And look at this. So there is one that's a little different. It's right there. And up in the window right there, you're going to see Creature appear. He's going to open up the window. Now, a lot of people think that you have to walk over to the door and knock on it to make Creature appear, but in fact, it is not true. It is one of these weird things that started at some point, but is not actually necessary. There's no need to knock on that door. Creature will appear almost at random. I think it's every like minute or two, he's going to show up in that window. The curtain will be drawn back and you'll see him peek out. But everyone thinks it's triggered by knocking on the door. Not so. There he goes. There he is. Has nothing to do with the knocking. So over here, we have some amazing... Go over to this side here. You can actually hop on the back of the bus and you can look in. Look at this. So you can see all the beds here. And it's so cool. They have the toothbrush holders right there. You can't go upstairs, unfortunately. But you'll see all the suitcases here. And Gaskin says, I went in 1994, did E.T., Jaws, King Kong, Back to the Future. I missed those old rides too. They were so good. I'm so happy that E.T. is still here. Steven Spielberg fought for that. They were going to get rid of it. And Spielberg said, I'm going to stop being a creative partner if you guys get rid of E.T. God bless Steven Spielberg. And the King Kong ride was cool too. Back to the Future was cool too. I kind of actually prefer that to the Simpsons ride. Diagon Alley is the best part, absolutely. And we're going to go there. We're going to go there right now. We're going to take a little look around. First, I want to show you one of my favorite Easter eggs. This place is filled with Easter eggs for the films of Universal Studios. This is my absolute favorite. So you go to this record store right here, and you look at all the records in the window, and look at this one right here. Here's to Swimming with Bow-Legged Women. Here's to Swimming with Bow-Legged Women. That's a direct quote from the movie Jaws, which is what the Diagon Alley replaced. Quint says that when they're all together on the boat, Chief Brody and Hooper and Quint, for some reason, I don't know if it was in the script or if the actor that played Quint, I forget his name, just came up with that, but he raises his glass, he goes, here's to Swimming with Bow-Legged Women. And they put that little vinyl record in there. And this area all used to be Amity Island for the Jaws ride, which I did go on as a kid as well. It was so cool. And there's more Jaws stuff over there. I'm not going to go too far that way before we get into the Jaws stuff. Let's stick with the Harry Potter stuff for now. So you got King's Cross Station here. It's absolutely awesome. It is so like true to the actual King's Cross Station. If you walk inside, it looks legitimately like King's Cross Station. Check this out. And not only that, but there are some super cool little details in here. So if you walk up, you're going to see these times. These times for the departures and the arrivals, these are actually accurate to the real times of arrivals and departures at the real King's Cross Station. So you can see that there's time set to go to Foxton, Dundee, Howden, Biggleswade, Royston, Newcastle, all this stuff. It's crazy. And if you want to have a lot of fun here and just like see how, you know what, maybe we'll try it right now. Wait, let me see. You can ask the staff here if you can get to platform 9 3/4, and they won't know what you're talking about because it's not for muggles to know. Let's see if this person knows. Excuse me. Do you know how to get to platform 9 3/4?
I've never heard of that. We have a platform 9 and 10.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, well, maybe I'll try my luck down here. Let's see. You see that? Everyone is in on it, and the immersion is so over the top. So to go on this is, if you've watched my live stream yesterday, when I was at Islands of Adventure, this is the opposite end of this. So if you go down here, you will eventually go to platform 9 3/4, and you can take the Hogwarts Express all the way to Hogsmeade Station, which is at Islands of Adventure. So this is basically your train that takes you between the two parks. So if you're on the other side, you start at Hogsmeade Station, you end up at King's Cross. You start here, you start at King's Cross, you go to Hogsmeade Station. It's super cool. It's a very immersive ride on the train as well. They've got a lot of really cool things going on there, but you do need the park-to-park ticket to do that. In terms of interactive elements, you also have over here the phone booth. if you dial the number for the Ministry of Magic in there, you can actually talk to the Ministry of Magic. Just crazy. Okay, so here we are, the moment we've been waiting for. So how do you get into Diagon Alley, right? So you walk through here, and you are going to hear, if you listen around, you're going to hear the bricks moving. And the bricks open up. And inside, Diagon Alley. And this is the epitome of an immersive experience. Everything here is amazing. So detailed. We got the Leaky Cauldron restaurant over here, which you can go into and you can get food, drinks, and such. You can walk up here, Diagon Alley. Many of these stores you can go into. You can buy a wand from Ollivanders here. And they are interactive wands, and you can do all sorts of stuff that will make things move and change inside the windows. And there's even a wand choosing ceremony. You do have to wait in line for that, and you're not always the one chosen. They only choose one person for wand choosing ceremony. But you would go through there to wait for that experience. You got Florian Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlor. You can get some awesome ice creams, various really awesome flavors. There's the Ukrainian Iron Belly Dragon up there, which will blow fire every 10 minutes. It'll be on the dot. So if you are looking to get a photo of that thing, just wait. And yeah, Nyborgs are not as busy as I've seen in the past. This place does get pretty busy. Right now, it's not so bad. There's one ride in Diagon Alley, and it is this one right here. It is the Escape from Gringotts. Gringotts is the bank. It's right here, Gringotts. And right now, the wait time is 35 minutes. Not too bad. There's a whole pre-show, and the queue in here is just absolutely nuts. Like, it goes right through the bank. This is actually, the queue was made by the production designers of the Harry Potter movies. So it is true to the films, and it's just mind-blowing when you go in there. I highly recommend it. And let's see what time we're at now. Maybe we can catch this dragon breathing some fire. Yeah, it's going to actually breathe some fire in less than a minute. So let's kick around here for a second. Maybe I'll show you some stuff over here in this minute that we have before it breathes fire. We got stores here. We got the Wiseacres and Scribulus, all of which you can go inside. This is also a really cool area. It is all covered here, so when it starts to rain, you can enjoy all the stuff that's in here without having to worry about getting wet. They have a bunch of, oh, it's gonna do it now. There we go. You can actually feel that heat from as far back as I am right now from that blast. It's so cool. Nyborosaurus says the Earl Grey and lavender is the best. Yes, it is really good. There's so many good flavors to choose from in there. And of course, you can get butterbeer here. Butterbeer is so good. I'll show you another thing that I feel like some people just walk right by without noticing. So this is Diagon Alley. This is Horizontal Alley, and over here is another alley that not so many people know about. I mean, if you know, you know, but if you don't, maybe you don't. But over here is Nocturne Alley. Some people think it's just for staff or something, you know, but it's a really cool place. And if you want to take, you know, some shade or chill out outside of a crowd, this is a great place to go. So you can actually walk down here. You can see all sorts of stuff here. And it's going to get a little dark down here. But that's the whole point of Nocturne Alley. So inside here is a lot of interactive stuff that you can do with your interactive wands if you choose to purchase that as well. And as I said, it's pretty dark in here, so I see you can't really see much on the camera. But it's also pretty hard to see with your eyes. You have to let them adjust for a little while. But it is a great place to go to, and there are some stores in here that sell unique merch to this area. Nocturne Alley, a lot of the dark arts stuff. but this is actually an area that you can go into, but it is. So right here, you also have the Leaky Cauldron, where you can go in and grab yourself a bite to eat. Let's take a step through and maybe just walk through to show the sights. Just the theming is insane here. Like, everything is just so beautiful. So this is kind of like a sit-down restaurant where you're able to sorry, I'm just passing through here. Yeah, sorry, just passing through. Sorry. Where you can just get some food. You can grab a table and order directly to your table, or if you want to just grab some drinks or some butterbeer, you can walk right up to the counter and order it there. But look at this. I mean, this theming is next level. And there's the Leaky Cauldron itself right at the end of the banquet hall. But all these stores are just absolutely wild. Everything is just so heavily themed here. Everything's moving, lots of kinetic energy. Look at this. Like, all this stuff you can buy. Like, it's not a prop on the wall. You can actually buy all this stuff.
This is my favorite.
So let's go out. There's a couple ways you can exit here. So you can go back out through the bricks if you want, or you can go to the side here. It's a little less congested because people like the experience of going through the bricks, and it's understandable. And they have a little interactive experience here with the night bus. You can talk to the shrunken head. It'll talk back to you. But let's continue our little journey here. Also, I should probably tell you guys about a little urban legend for this area here. So, as I mentioned before, this area before was the Amity Island area, and the Jaws ride was here. So, Jaws is not really the name of the shark, it's the name of the movie, and they kind of nicknamed the shark in the movie Bruce. So, Bruce the Shark was there was multiple Bruces on the ride because, of course, there was many animatronics that would appear, and apparently one of the animatronics from the old ride was left here, and somewhere in this area it is buried beneath the ground. They just kind of like built on top of it. So it's a kind of fun urban legend that somewhere here, rumor has it might be over by the fountain, rumor has it might be over by the dragon in Diagon Alley, but apparently there's a gigantic mechanical great white shark somewhere under the ground, which is just a fun idea to think about. Might be true, might not be true, but it's fun to think about. So as Halloween Horror Nights is about to start, we got all this sort of stuff here. Black Phone 2 is coming to the theaters. You can go in here, pick up the phone. Nothing interactive happens, but it's a good photo op. And we still got some remnants of the past here with the Amity Island stuff. We got the Amity Island Lobster Co. Tower over there. And over here we have more Jaws related stuff as well. I'll show you in a second. Here we have some eating opportunities, I suppose. We got the San Francisco Pastry Co. and we got Lombard's Seafood Grill. I went in there actually yesterday for the first time. I'm not a big fish fan personally, but they had some really good drinks in there, and the atmosphere inside is actually really nice as well. Over here is the exit to the Fast and the Furious ride. Fast and Furious ride here is probably the worst ride in the park, but I actually think it's hilarious and it's worth trying because it's just funny. But over here is the cool stuff. This is the remnants of Jaws. So this is the Chez Alcatraz bar right here. So you can get Jaws related drinks here. They have some really cool mixed drinks. And I forget what the one is called. It is the, let's see here, the Ocean Attack. If you order the Ocean Attack, there's like a whole bunch of fanfare. They do this super cool thing. There's like a gummy shark that they put in the drink with some fake blood. They pull out like a Shaw's puppet, and it's super cool. And of course, here we have the photo op with Bruce the shark right there. And you can get up in that shark's mouth. You can pose. There's lots of cool stuff you can do here. And this area over here, if you go back there, there's a lot of seating that people don't necessarily know about. If you want to stay away from the crowds, you can find yourself a nice seat over there by the Central Lagoon. So right now they got a lot of Halloween Horror Night stuff here. They're just putting this all up because this is imminent. So Fast and the Furious, this area here, this ride used to be the Earthquake ride, which is why we have the Richter Brothers Burger Co. right across the street. And I gotta be honest with you, I wish they never got rid of the Earthquake ride. That was a really cool earthquake simulator ride. You were on a underground subway while an earthquake was happening, and you got rattled around. There was like the earth gave in and a truck fell down from the street above, and there was flames, and then the subway started flooding. It was just so cool. And yeah, Fast and the Furious does not live up to that at all. It is a very weak motion simulator ride. Okay, listen, so Fast and the Furious, what do you think when you hear Fast and the Furious, right? You think like cars, like fast cars, you think Vin Diesel. This whole ride takes place on a bus. On a bus! Why would you be on a bus? It's crazy. But like I said, it is pretty funny because it's just so bad. There's lots of shows that go on in Universal Studios. This one is definitely worth checking out. This is the Beat Builders. So these guys are a bunch of construction workers, and they are just basically using their construction tools as percussive instruments, and they'll just drum on everything you can think about. It's so cool. So they have a few shows throughout the day. Yeah, man. The yeah, the pre-show for Fast and the Furious is actually, it's one of my favorite parts. Like, you know, if you're a fan of actors doing like improv, they really get some good improv going on for the pre-shows, but it is so long, and you go on the ride, it's very lackluster. If you're looking for cheap food, this one actually is probably one of your best bets. This is like the Louis restaurant. It's kind of an Italian deal. You can get a small pasta there for a very reasonable price. This area here is so cool. This is one of my favorite parts. There's lots of cool stuff here, but a really fun fact about this area is that this is where they shot the My Sacrifice video for Creed. If you watch it, check it out on YouTube, My Sacrifice by Creed. You'll see this whole area. They literally flooded this whole area. It's not even like video trickery. They set up like barricades to fill the whole area. They used the water from the Central Lagoon and flooded this area like several feet up. So everything you see there is actually real. So cool. But the theming is so cool. All these facades here, the palace. This was in so many music videos. I have a video on my channel that talks about some of the music videos. NSYNC shot a video here. Jimmy Buffett, I mean, that kind of goes without saying because he's kind of tied into the parks. But loads of artists have shot stuff here. On the other side of these buildings here, the All That TV show on Nickelodeon, they filmed their intro over there. There are lots of really cool facades here. And over here is Finnegan's Bar and Grill, which is probably one of my favorite restaurants here. It is just a nice Irish bar and grill. And it's got really tasty food. Burgers are awesome. The beers are great. One of my favorite stores actually is down here. I don't think enough people talk about this store. Dome Vault right here. Amity Island Lifeguard. You've got all these like Funko Pop, Creature from the Black Lagoon. And right now, of course, because of Halloween Horror Nights and because Epic Universe has their Dark Universe with the monsters, we got Frankenstein shirts. They're looking like Frankenstein jacket, but look at this. Got the Proton Pack. We got Jaws from Jaws and a lot of the 50th anniversary stuff for Jaws right over here. Lots of Bride of Frankenstein over there. Ghostbusters merch all over here. Hoodies, cups, blankets. Look at this. The DeLorean itself. And all this Back to the Future merch. And one of the coolest things back here is you've actually got some autographed stuff Look at this. Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox, Sigourney Weaver, Ghostbusters. And you can get all these cool, like, little mini posters, as well as these shirts that are so cool. These are like, you know, the original Universal Studios Florida shirts with all the original rides. Gaskin, you were mentioning, the Kong, this Frankenstein was from, like, they had like a little monsters thing, like a show. Jaws, Back to the Future, E.T., Earthquake, that's what I'm talking about. That was where Fast and the Furious is now. And here's the Transformers ride, which I personally don't like, and I think this building is an eyesore. Brutalist architecture is one thing, but this is a waste of space in my opinion. This ride could be a lot better, and I would love to see it gone. In fact, I'm actually going to go as far as to say get rid of this before you get rid of Fast and the Furious, because Fast and the Furious at least has some of that so bad it's good charm, but this is just a bad ride. I don't like it. Some people like it, but not me. Okay, so over here you're going to see, look at that loop. This loop here is part of the Rip Ride Rocket, and Rip Ride Rocket is no longer in service. No, it was closed permanently on August 17th, just a week ago. So they have already started deconstruction of this ride. There are parts of the track that have already been removed, and they're gonna just demolish the whole thing because they're making way for a new roller coaster. And Halloween Horror Nights, we got some really cool stuff here. We got the Clown Cafe from Terrifier, and I don't know if anyone's seen Terrifier, but it is pretty cool. I wasn't on board after the first Terrifier. I thought, nah, not for me. I saw the second Terrifier. I thought, nah, still maybe not for me. And now I love the Terrifier stuff. This is great. Yeah, seeing the crane is so sad. And I'll show you actually over here. Over here there are parts of the track that are already removed. And I am going to be so sad when they remove the loop and that ascension, that vertical. You know, I really became like a big roller coaster guy. I remember looking at this and I was so intimidated. Every time coming into the park, I'd be like, holy moly, you go vertically up that thing and then this loop. It's actually a loop, but that ascension, like, rising straight upwards, you felt like you were sliding out of the back of the seat. The seats had ABBA. They had, what else they had? There was a secret menu too, where you could even choose Rainbow Connection by Kermit the Frog, which is a pretty somber song to listen to while you're whipping around, I think, but it was pretty funny nonetheless. So here is the area where there are tracks have already been removed. So this is the old Ghostbusters firehouse, and you can see right here, the track is no more. It doesn't continue over there. It's been taken down. There's other parts over there. But there's some interesting stuff going on with this, with these construction walls here. So they do say that the restoration of the historic Engine 89 firehouse, so that means it's the Historic Preservation Act, and it suggests that they're not going to get rid of the firehouse, which is cool. And then over here, how about this? Look at this. Building better roads for a better future. Back to the Future, perhaps? Gundacker Construction? What is this new ride going to be? That is the question on everyone's mind. Another little fun fact about some of the stuff here. If you look up at these windows here, each of these have names in the windows. You'll see stuff like Mark Woodbury. You'll see stuff like Gail Anderson. These are people that actually work for the parks, and this is basically your credits for the film. You know, when the film ends and you see your end credits, you can see all your credits for all the creative minds and executives behind Universal Studios in the windows of this building. Very cool. Speaking of windows of buildings, over here in the park, if you look across the way, and I'm gonna move a little fast now because it's starting to rain yet again. It's unpredictable here in Orlando. In this building here, you can actually see some pets looking out of the windows from The Secret Life of Pets. Let's see if we can spot one. This used to be a smoking area for people that smoke cigarettes, but it is no longer a smoking area. You can no longer you can no longer smoke cigarettes inside Universal Studios. And No shame on the people that do smoke cigarettes, but I'm glad that that's the case because I don't know. As a non-smoker, I don't like cigarette smoke being in my face. It's a little much. But you can smoke cigarettes outside of the park. But yes, over here I do see one of the pets from the Secret Life of Pets. I don't know if you can see it up there, but there is a dog in that window right up there. Let me see if I can change the lens a little bit to get that a little closer. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. It's all good, guys. I'll get you a close-up of an animal from Secret Life of Pets. It's my civic duty to do so because I couldn't deliver on zooming in with the camera. Sometimes with this live feed, you're kind of locked into one. And over here's the Jimmy Fallon ride. Can you believe there's a Jimmy Fallon ride? If you ever wanted to experience Jimmy Fallon in a ride, you can do it here at Universal Studios. It's insane to think, but Jimmy Fallon. So this ride is this is another motion simulator ride. It's actually kind of fun. I mean, it's another one of those ones where it has a really long pre-show. So if you've gone on it before, it kind of sucks to go on it a second time because you're gonna wait like 10 minutes to get on the ride that's like 3 minutes long because you have to sit through the pre-show that you've already seen. But if you've never been on it before, I would actually suggest going for it because it is kind of fun, and it's a sit-down ride, and it's really kind of fun. So I am going to show you guys next. What will I show you? Perhaps a pet. Yes, here we go. There's someone sitting on the pet right now. There's one of the dogs from the Secret Life of Pets. As promised, you have seen a pet. Back to the Future roller coaster would be really cool, especially if it has really immersive theming. Yes, I really, really hope so. So I don't know, SMG, if you've seen the plans for the Universal Studios UK park, but there is a lot of evidence suggesting that one of the rides there is going to be a Back to the Future roller coaster. And I don't know if they want to build that in both parks. I think that'd be awesome because it looks really cool. It looks like a very maximum level thrill ride, and I'd be so down to have that. And especially like if it goes up, it looks like it goes up this huge peak and then comes back, and like that is just in itself such a great little nod to Back to the Future, going forward and then going back in time, or vice versa. It looks super cool. And here's our little Minion area here. So it's such a shame to see Rip Ride Rockit in this state, but hopefully it will make way for something a lot more well, you know, I mean, Rip Ride Rockit was fun. To be fair, Rip Ride Rockit was a little janky. Obviously it's been around for a long time, but yes, it would be cool if it was here. But there's also a word on the street that it might be a Fast and the Furious ride, because at Universal Studios Hollywood they do have a or what am I saying? Yeah, Fast and the Furious ride at Universal Hollywood that's going to open soon, and that actually looks like a really cool ride too. Like, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Fast and the Furious as like a movie franchise, so, but ultimately it doesn't really matter what the theming is so long as the ride is fun. And that ride, from what I've seen on the concept videos and everything, actually looks really cool. So if that is what's coming here, I wouldn't hate that either. And the thing is if they do build a Fast and the Furious roller coaster here, then that means that they might get rid of the Fast and the Furious motion simulator ride, which I know a lot of people would be thrilled to have that out of here. But what will that make room for, you know? So lots of stuff to consider. So I don't know how long this is going to be around here, but this is the Wicked store here. So the Wicked store, it has a bunch of Wicked merch in it from the movie Wicked, and you can also see a bunch of like screen used props inside the store as well, which is cool. And there is speculation as well that a Wicked land might be coming to Epic Universe. We've seen some green parts that have been sitting on the ground for assembly, so maybe there's going to be a Wicked roller coaster. Mark Woodbury himself has said that it's just begging to be turned into a theme park, which actually I agree with. I mean, can you imagine the Emerald City being like its own land? How cool would that be? I think that'd be really sick, actually. over here, we are in the Hollywood section. So those that are watching that were here in the early 90s, you might remember this section. You might remember this over here being the Terminator 2 3D ride, or not a ride really, it was a show. And now it's another show. It is called the Bourne Stuntacular. And you know what? You might come to these theme parks and think, I just want to go on rides. I don't want to spend time like going to shows and eat up, valuable hours in the day. But trust me, go to this show. It is next level. You will not be disappointed. Once you come out of this show, you're gonna go, oh my God, I've never seen anything quite like that before. I'm disappointed that Terminator's gone, because Terminator 2 is literally the best action movie of all time. But what they've replaced this with is just so good. I could watch it a million times and never be bored. Speaking of which, over here, if you look up, you might not be able to see it here, but if you watch my video with Easter eggs from Universal Studios, you'll see it in more detail. But right here, there's a little homage to the old Terminator ride. Amongst all these motor oil cans, there's one. It's the second row at the bottom of the yellow ones. And they all say Invader motor oil, but the one at the very bottom says Terminator motor oil. Try to say that 5 times in a row. Terminator motor oil. Terminator motor oil. And this area here is just so sick. I love this. You got all the stars on the ground. This is where a lot of the character meet and greets happen. Right now we got all of our Halloween horror stuff out, with some stuff concealed, of course. I don't want to give away too much. We have a mystery machine, Scooby-Doo. And right now, I don't think it's going to go on for I think $4 like 2 days ago. Honey, I Shrunk the Audience was there. Yeah, that was Disney. That was Disney. That was a cool one though. I went to Disney when I was a kid too, so I also know that one. But yeah, these Creature from the Black Lagoon shirts, that's what they have over there, and they're like $4 each. It's amazing. And here's Doc Brown himself. Great Scott. How's it doing? How you doing? Lots of characters around here. You can get lots of cool little photo ops here with Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. We got Dracula right over here. And the Creature from the Black Lagoon right over here. Let me go ahead and shake this man's hand. Pleasure meeting you, sir. So we got Doc Brown. The over here in front of the Monster Makeup Show where I started this live stream, you can often find Beetlejuice. I hope he's here because he's really funny, and the guy that plays him is like so good at improv. I say improv. I've been here for a long time, and this heat is like literally breaking my mind. Oh, hey, look at this. Marilyn Monroe's about to do the show. Should we watch it? Does anyone want to watch the Marilyn Monroe show? I've kind of gone over the hour, but I mean, we're here. Let's see. Someone in the who's watching want a message? Do we want to watch the Marilyn Monroe show, or do we want to just keep moving on? Or I don't know. Let's see. Come and join us. Should I stick around? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? Lyrics from The Clash. Shall I stay or shall I go now? So right in front of Mel's Diner here, we got the Marilyn Monroe show. Okay, I don't know. I'm not getting any messages in the comments. Is the AP Holder discount shop still open? It is. It is. And right now they do have some amazing discounts. It's 80% to 90% off. Not related to Universal, but is the Marvel and DC character props still in Justice Courier? I don't know. I've been here so long. Keep walking. Okay. All right, I'll keep walking. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I have been away from Canada's Wonderland for so long that I don't even know who I am anymore, if I'm being honest. I've been here so long, and I've been in the heat so long. I'm going to tell you guys a little story here. So yesterday, I was at, that was day 8, I think, for me. Day 8 or day 9 here at Universal Studios. And I've been going hard, man. I've been going like every day from like early access, 7 a.m. all the way till closing. And I was on the Forbidden Journey, which is the ride that takes place in the Hogwarts castle. And the dragon came up and opened its mouth and roared at me. And I literally said, thank you, out loud to it. I mean, I'm losing my mind, obviously. I don't know why I said that. It's so weird. Okay, which way should I go? Let's see. Should I go back down? Maybe some people didn't see these cats. I mean, this is a live stream, but it's going to be archived, so you can easily just go back and check out what happened before, you know, any of you guys that are watching right now tuned in. But I do love this area here, and it's going to be so cool at night with the Halloween horror going on. We got all these pumpkins in the trees, and it's all cat themed. 9 Crooked Lane. There's a whole bunch of cats here. And it's just a really cool area here. But you know what? I'm not going to walk up the whole way because I do have a bit of a game plan to try and go for a ride on the Mummy. I love the Mummy. It's one of my favorite rides here at Universal Studios. So I'm going to head back this way. Gonna hit up the Mummy. That is actually, believe it or not, it's talking about Canada's Wonderland. The Mummy is made by Premier Rides, the same company that made, of course, Alpenfury. Alpenfury being the latest and greatest roller coaster at Canada's Wonderland. And you know what? I'm just gonna let backlot stunt coaster. But on the Mummy, there is some awesome pyrotechnics. Especially there's one room where you stop and the entire ceiling sets ablaze, and you can feel the heat coming down on you. And it's right before you get launched into an immediate drop. There's a couple launches on that coaster as well. Fits that they come out in are legitimately awesome. They literally look like the robots from the movies, which is really cool. And this is that area I was talking about earlier, where the kids show All That on Nickelodeon was filmed. They would shoot the intro right here. That's also, I mentioned this, take a look down my theme park videos playlist. It'll be down towards the bottom. And I talk about some of the cool little areas that were used in various you know, TV shows or music videos and stuff. And this no parking loading zone, this was right at the beginning of the All That TV show, as well as this area here with the barbershop stripes. Okay, well, we got another show going on here. We got the Blues Brothers. Now, I'm actually going to stop by this for a hot second because this is a great show.
Everybody on the wholesale block, let me dance to the jailhouse rock. Shots out sitting on a block of stone, already calling me all alone. Well, everybody on the Vino Square, everybody pop use the wooden trail. Let's rock, everybody, let's rock. Come on now, put your hands together. Well, everybody on the wholesale block, let me dance to the jailhouse rock. Jazz on the horn. Thank you. Woo. So you guys want we should do another one? Yeah! All right,
One
Lacey,
more
hit it.
time. Okay, I'm gonna walk around here. Yeah, MSB. Sorry. Yeah, I normally only do hour-long streams, And we've actually gone quite over the hour here, but it's just so much to explore. I might go on a little longer. Let's see. I'm making my way over to the Mummy, but I'm gonna go the long way because I want to show you guys these alleyways back here that have a few little extra things for the Halloween Horror Nights. All this toxic slime everywhere. Has nothing to do with the Toxic Avenger, but the Toxic Avenger movie is coming out soon. But look at how cool everything is here. It's so detailed. Enjoy yourself, MSB, enjoy. It feels like you're in a whole other world here. So over here, they are actually transforming this area because over there, where normally the Halloween Haunt Tribute store is, it's kind of like under construction with this whole Rip Ride Rockit demolition thing. So it's actually now in the back of this area. So they've closed the arcade, and in this Sahara Traders, which is the gift store for the Mummy, they have now the Halloween Haunt Tribute store. So let me show you that real quick. So now it's extra spooky in here. You still got your Mummy merch. These cats, so adorable. Hello, told you I like cats. And you got your old Mummy right here. What's up, bud? And here, look at this. You got the black phone masks. This is a really cool shirt here. Mel's Diner. We are dying to serve you. And over here we got some Megan from the movie Megan, or as I like to call it, Me 3 Gan popcorn buckets. And over here we got some more popcorn buckets, fashioned after Art the Clown in his Santa Claus getup from the Terrifier 3 movie. So good. Love Terrifier 3. You want to see some gross stuff, you want to see some blood and guts, you are going to want to check out Terrifier 3. All right. So, I hope y'all have enjoyed this little journey into the world of Universal Studios. It's a lot of fun, always. And like I said, I think a lot more people are going to Islands of Adventure. And, oh, you're going in 13 days? Nice. Yeah, the Mummy is so awesome. I love this ride so much. It's really an understated one. And the ride time is never really too bad on this. Right now, you're looking at a wait time of 20 minutes on the regular line. Really not that bad. And a lot of the time, I find at Universal, they underestimate the time. Or overestimate the time. So you are going to wait less time than you think you're going to wait. So what is advertised as a 20-minute wait is probably really only a 15-minute wait, if that. And this is just a great ride. I've gone on this one so many times. If you go on the single riders line, you're just whipping through this thing. Like, you can go on this thing like, you know, as many times as you want, basically. It's awesome. But yeah, it's one of my favorite rides as well. And Van Matt 79, I hope you enjoy your trip in 13 days. I mean, I know you will. It's so much fun. But yeah, I feel like this park is a little less congested now that you've got Islands of Adventure and Epic Universe. And of course, Rip Ride Rockit's closed. So for the thrill seekers out there, there's not really like too many intense roller coasters. I would say the Mummy is probably the most intense ride here now at this point. But that being said, there are, and if you do want to come down here, it's super cool. Has little throwbacks to all the classic movies, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, E.T., and all that other stuff. Jaws, you know, all the stuff that they used to have here. I don't think they have any floats that are related to King Kong. It's kind of weird, but also the Cinesational at night, that is something I just checked out for the first time last night, I think it was. Everything's becoming a blur. I've been here for some time. But that was amazing. I hadn't seen that before, and that's worth seeing for sure. So we are going to take a little seat here, and I am going to end this live stream that has gone 20 minutes over the hour that I normally do, but I just can't help myself because it's just so much fun. So thank you so much, everyone that's tuned in. Oh, Mark Watson on the way from the UK on Saturday for Halloween Horror Nights. Well, I bet you are going to have a great time. I cannot wait for you, Mark, to enjoy what they have in store for you, especially for the Terrifier stuff. Let's end right over here by the Clown Cafe in honor of Mark Watson, who's going to be here in a week, I guess. Look at this. Terrifier is crazy. It's a crazy movie series, and it's going to be nuts here. I really hope that they go all out and get the blood and guts and gore going. Okay, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and remember, if you like these videos, there are more on the way, and the only way to stay in the loop is to like, subscribe, and click that bell notification button. And as always, thanks for watching.